Cloberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
I just love Cloberin time!
It's Cloberin time!
Cloberonimo! I just love Cloberin time!
Yeah, Cloberin for 700 episodes now on YouTube, 1,400 overall, 1,400 episodes over a course of nearly, well, a few months shy of 15 years. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that math adds up, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Good to see you all, my dear friends. Welcome, clobberers, clobberoids, clobberonimos, clobberuskis, clobettes, cloberians, and for those who do not yet clobber, never fear. The secret is to bang the rocks together, guys. I don't know what that means, but Gwagnar makes some really cool memes, and that's all that matters. Thank you, Gwag. And thank you all for being here with us this evening. It is good to see you. And oh, there you go. No. Yes, indeed. It is Cloberin Times, number 700 on YouTube, number 1,400, 1,400, like I said, overall. And it just so happens to fall on the perfect night for it. Wild card Wednesday night. Yeah. Wednesday night's all right for a fight. Or something like that. Anyway, good to see you all. And let's do little show notes and shout outs, shall we? Then we'll just get to hanging out. Because that's what we do up in on Wednesday nights. Just going to be you and me. And who knows? Someone may join us. You never know. And a little bit of a chill stream, as the kids say. Kids call them that. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. So, show notes. Tomorrow night, the clubhouse is in session. Joined, of course, as always, will I be by my most wonderful first officer in the fleet, Commander R.M. Briggs, and the greatest chief engineer of them all, Mark D. with AC. We'll have a Blake 7 episode review. The episode is dual. And review the final issue of Star Trek, The Early Voyages, and amongst other geeking things we'll be doing. Then, of course, before that, I'll probably have been on Midnight's Edge After Dark with the great Tom Connors and those gents over there, I hope. Those great folks. And then Friday night. Friday night is a great night for Fourth World. Continuing. Getting toward the end, though. The great J-Man's channel and a few more of these left. And we'll soon be finished reviewing all of the Jack King Kirby's legendary Fourth World saga. Epic sagas. Epic-y, saga-y, saga-y, epic-y thingy. Greatness. Really enjoying that, and I'm sad we're getting toward the end of it. That is, of course, Friday nights, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and soon we will, after that, we may start doing Frank Miller's classic run on Daredevil. We will see. That's probably in the pipe for next, though. And then, of course, after that, Friday night, I should be hanging out with the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, and the Friday Night Comic Shop Talk Boys. 8:30 Central Standard Time. We'll be reviewing some Christmas comics. Then, of course, the big and Saturday Night Star Trek. 4 more episodes of Star Trek Voyager Season 4. That is, for your reviewing pleasure. Same Trek time, 9 p.m. Central. Same Clobby channel, Cloberin Darbs. So thank you all. So one more show note, rather. The great Mark D with the C's channel, Sunday nights as always, for the Sunday Night Geekery. It's a lot of fun there, hanging out with our good buddy, the great Chief Engineer. And please join us for that on Sunday nights if you'd like to have a little bit of fun to wind down your geek week. And then back on Monday on J-Man's great channel, 3 Mondays out of the month. J-Man and Sean and I continue our ongoing review of all of the Legion of Superheroes adventures and appearances in chronological order from 1958, the very beginning, to what I consider their ending to be in 1989, the Bronze Age. So, and then, of course, from then on, wackiness will ensue on the channel. I'll be doing I've got some other plans for Monday nighters, like next Monday night, I'm probably going to be reviewing some Christmas comics of my own. So now let's do some shout outs, shall we? First, of course, our Fantasiastic wrenches. We got some great wrench pals around here, of course. I have not looked at the chat yet, my friends. I'll be there in a second. First, I want to shout out our wrenches. Whether they're here or not, they get the shout out. The great Eric K., the wrencher of bronze himself, buddy. Chris Persia, Vindicated Wrench of the Great White North. Always great to see you there, buddy. If you're here, is he here? I didn't see him, but I'm sure he is. I saw him earlier at Loki's. Then shout out by the way, to the great Stone Loki for having me on tonight on the Comic Book Roundtable. Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North again. Chris Persia, of course. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. Shout out to his wonderful better half, Lady Thoth. Avon lives. Long live the Legion. The J-Man, that wrench without fear, and partner in crime on Earth B, and Legionnaire extraordinaire reviewer, and pal J-Man. Maddie's daddy, Wieldorf Reach Mjolnir and Thorin Vegas. Super Wrench himself, Kal-El. The Rascally Wrench, Fenty Outsidery. Hungry Boy, Master of the Claboni, and artist of the cover of Science Fiction Tales by Commander R.M. Briggs, and Cloberin Time's own Music Meister, Maximum Redstone. So now let me run the chat back and see which of you wonderful friends are here with us in the chat tonight. DJ Play Nice, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Penny, what's up, my dear? Good to see you, Penny. Brian Hepburn. Dave C. All right. Good to see you, Dave C. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Larry. Oh, thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. Jason Sandberg, what's up? Says congrats on 700. Well, thank you, sir. Good to see you, Jason. Hope the comic is going well. That's Jupiter, everyone. I think there's a link in my description below to his comic that he's still got out there and working on more, I hope. Good to see you, buddy. Ravenscroft, hello. Welcome. Chris Persia's gifted 5 Cloberin Times memberships. If you're not a member yet and you would like to be, please avail yourself of that if you can. Only if you'd like to. Thank you, Chris. You're too kind, brother. I appreciate you. Ace Cast Iron, my great old friend. Miss you big time, buddy. You got to come hang out with me on the show again soon, man. Let's talk. We need to review another comic, buddy. It was a lot of fun last time we did it. It's been forever, man. Let's do it. If you're up for it. Jason Sandberg, thank you for the super chat. You were too kind, my friend. He says, cheers, bud. Hail the chat. Cheers to you, sir. Jason, good to hear from you, brother. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Mazerus. What's up, Mazerus? Good to see you. Don Don Ranger Power. What's up, Don Don? Good to see you, buddy. And that is so far all we have in the chat. But as the people will, of course, be shouted out as they arrive, of course, accordingly. So tonight is a night of wildcardness. Nothing going on, no set topic. So if any of you have anything you'd like to talk about or to throw out there, as long as it's geek related. Yeah, Mazurus, he's a CIO. I don't only show up when Raquel's here. Well, if you did, no one could blame you, Mazurus, but I do appreciate that. Thank you. You are too kind, my friend. Let's see here. Ravenscroft says, Cloberin Times, is the show a double-sized issue? Yes, it's an annual. I should have called this Cloberin Times annual number 1400. Yeah, I've talked about that on shows before. Remember the annuals? Annuals were cool. Something special about an annual. They don't do that anymore. Do they even bother with annuals anymore? They do lousy, trashy comments. I don't even think they do it. Not that they should, because they wouldn't do it right anyway. But yeah, I used to love those though. Of course, I remember the sticker shock for annuals though back then, because it was like twice the price of a regular comic. And an annual sometimes could be 50 cents or 60 cents. Oh my God. But yeah, I love them. So I remember some of my favorite comics and comic memories were of annuals. I'll never forget this, like Daredevil annual number. I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. It had a beautiful Gil Kane cover with a Submariner and Daredevil and Black Panther on it, but the interior was sorry, D-Bud, but it was by George Tuska, buddy. And Ravenscroft says, okay, Clobby, favorite anniversary issues, Marvel or DC? Again, you know what? And I hate to say it because it's John Byrne and he pieces me off sometimes. But Fantastic Four number 236 is pretty great. Let's see. Annuals. There's only 25. They're only 25 cents. Sorry, I'm late, by the way. Good to see you there. T-Bud, I was just saying there was a great Daredevil annual cover by Gil Kane that had really not so good Tuska interior on that. Don't hate me. Let's see here. Ace says, I know I'm a little younger, but I love the Art Adams run on X-Men annuals. Oh, yeah, the 80s. Yep, he did some cool annuals, too. He did one that was a cover of, like a knockoff cover of A Journey into Mystery number 83, the first Thor appearance, and it was with, yeah. Well, in fact, we'll take a look at Fantastic Four number 236. Because you mentioned it's not an annual, but it's an anniversary special. Let's see. What am I doing? I already have that bookmarked. Okay, here we go. Believe me, I never really liked giving Byrne credit, but he was doing a pretty good job on the comic at this point. I'll say that for him. I like Byrne's FF for the first couple of years. All right. There we go. Even though there's behind the scenes things that pissed me off about this. Look at that. It was a whole $1. Wow. I agree, Ace. F Byrne. He's done some good Trek, and he did good FF for a couple of years. Then he did lousy FF, in my opinion, but, Sorry, folks, getting a little water there. So, D-Bud says, the best Daredevil annual was the first one with the Image series of Evil. Yes. Yeah, but, this was when he still hadn't, they reprinted a Kirby story in here that they shouldn't have, but anyway. I'm not going to go into the problems with this, but in 1961, In 1961, Jack Kirby revolutionized the comic book industry with the introduction of a new and daringly different group of superheroes. Now we proudly invite you to join with us in celebrating the 20th anniversary of the world's greatest comic magazine. Nobody of any interest who never did anything really, and he's a jerkwad, presents the Fantastic Four! Exclamation point. John Byrne. Words and pictures means he got paid for the writing, the penciling, and the inking. So, if anyone remembers the story, it was kind of a flashback at first for the origin, but Johnny wakes up. I'm just gonna flash through it really quickly because I haven't read it in a while. I mean, I remember. It was we know it was sort of like a real dream world scenario, like a Twilight Zone episode almost. I think I'll leave it at that because I'll probably review it at some point. Somewhat have special Christmas. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do next week. Monday night, I'm gonna do some Christmas issues. Ravenscroft says, I do feel like Byrne loved the characters, and that's very important. I think so as well, but I think he gets bored. Back then, Byrne would get bored after a year or two on a series, and it really began to show. He was also hyped up to do his crappy Superman reboot, which I hated. And then he got, it was a couple of years, and he got bored with it and left. What about the 40th anniversary of Detective Comics number 572? Well, let's take a look at that. Fanty. Detective. There we go. Detective Comics number 472. I like Detective 500 better personally, but this was pretty good, though. There you go. Yep, Detective 572. But I haven't seen this in ages. Alan Davis. I should reread this one again. Or reread it, I should say. Chapter 1. Alan Davis was a pretty damn good artist, obviously. In that issue, Holmes himself calls Batman the world's greatest detective, and that's why it's great. Yes, it was great. Man, it's been ages since I read this one, too. But I was so excited to buy it when it came out, though. So again, I'm showing bits and pieces. I think this is another one we're going to review next year. So let's see here. And of course, I'd ask Conan Doyle first. Yeah, of course. Now, one of my favorite, and again, I did review this story, so there's no point in showing it. I'll just show it for a second anyway, though. Detective 500 has a lot of good stuff in it. It's got that opening story by Alan Brenner, To Kill a Legend. which was pretty cool. I remember I reviewed this not too long ago, though. But for those who haven't read it, that's a good one. Now, you know what else is good? Now, I don't know if I've reviewed this one or not, though. Did I review Untold Legend of the Batman? No, I can't remember. I know you all remember it, of course. That might be in order to review that one soon. Let's see. That might be in order to review soon, I think. Yes, sir. I do believe so. Maybe J-Man will want to review that one soon. Brian Hepburn. Oh, you've been here. That's right. Maybe J-Man will want to review that one day. All right. So, yeah. Did I review? I can't remember. Damn it. I hate when I'll have to go check my review playlist. I don't think I've reviewed this one. But Larry, I know I've reviewed 500, at least that one story. Ezra Goldstein. Shalom, my friend. He says, did you watch The Giggle, the third of so-called Doctor 60th anniversary special? Yes, and as I promised you the other night, because we had a certain topic, and I couldn't really talk about it, I will talk about it tonight. As soon as I'll do this really quick. And I'll go ahead and just review that since this is an open wild card and anything's possible. And I do recall you asking about that the other night, Ezra, so bear with me for a second. Yes, this, of course, John Byrne did the first issue of this. Hey, the killer. Oh. In the beginning, Jim Aparo inking John Byrne. Could you get a better Batman than that? Look at that. Unreal. But he didn't do the issues 3 and 4, just did the first issue, though. I didn't review this, though. I don't think so. Oh, Ravenscroft. That was pretty weird. Avengers 200. I've meant to review that, and Justice League 200. I might do like a theme month where I review like anniversary issues, like landmark issues and annuals and stuff. And I meant to a long time. Avengers 200 is one of the. It's bonkers. There's no question about it. Some people get really offended and worked up by it. I mean, I'm not. But it is not. It's a weirdo. I'll find somebody that would want to review that with me. It's pretty messed up. It's famous for it. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a Pete Ross ad in that book as well. Oddly, I saw a book recently. They had the OJ ad and the Pete Rose ad. Pete Rose ads, yeah, they used to have this all the time. I said Pete Ross for a minute. Pete Rose, yes. Yeah, so, oh man, Avengers 200. Oh, good Lord. Now Justice League of America 200 is greatness, though. I'm gonna review that in an unironic because that's a great comic. I remember really loving that one, and both of them have Perez art. Perez is a great cover for both, but man, Avengers 200, that one has to be. I mean, it's almost like Earth B material in a sense. So yeah, Mazarus, what's up? Mazarus asks, what is your all-time favorite Batman outfit from any comic or movie and why? Well, it's pretty simple. You're looking at it. I would probably, this Batman costume, not the one he's holding right there, that's his father's. This Batman outfit in this era. See if we can find some good shots of it. Hey, this is another OJ ad. Whee! Hostess Twinkies ads. Cool. I love that Robin outfit. I love Robin. I don't care what you say. I love Robin. All right, so Black Hole. This one here, I'm going to say this one. This is, of course, smack dab in the middle of the Bronze Age Mazarus. And the why is, it's very simple. I like the blue better than the black. I like that it is, my first Batman, unabashedly, it was Adam West. And he had the yellow insignia. But, of course, this is not necessarily that, but it's almost it's not far off from it. It's the same basic design, just in a more serious fashion. I like the big cape. I like the tall ears. A lot of this has to do with the art. The gray, the blue, the yellow insignia, the yellow utility belt. They just all work. About a year or so ago, for about 5 or 6 weeks straight on my good buddy Nick Weiser's channel, the Comic Shop Boys and I, we did for like months, looked at every Batman outfit ever. And it took us 4 or 5 shows of hours at a time looking at, because there's a list of them, of every single variation on the Batman costume. And it took us that long. That should tell you something about Batman costumes. The one on the animated series I love, especially in later ones. I do like the black bat without the yellow insignia as well. But just something about that yellow insignia that I love. So this one here, Mazarus, would be you're looking at my favorite. It just, when I started seeing Batman on TV, he sort of looked like that. When I started reading Batman comics and Batman from the 30s to the 70s, a book I had in other comics, that's what he looked like. And he looked like that for a long time. And it just, that's the best for me personally right there. There you go. This is another great shot of it. Just like that's my favorite Robin costume. So right there, that's my Batman. That's a beautiful shot, by the way. Great page there by Byrne. So it connects to where Batman fandom started for you. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement, Mazarus. It could be, because that's what he really, in my formative years, and geeks have formative years when you first start out as a kid and into your teens when you're reading the comics or whatever, how they look then, it's usually, if I think of every character that I love, and I love quite a few, that's usually, I think, could be the case. You kind of, you become used to them at a young age, and they stay there, because this is a time when costumes weren't fiddled with very often. It was a big deal to change a costume at all. The slightest bit, with exceptions of lesser known characters. The big guys, they didn't screw with the costumes very much. So you saw them in these costumes back in the 60s and 70s or 80s when you were reading these characters as a kid. If you were a kid back then, and I was a kid in the 60s and 70s, and even a little bit of the 80s, it was a big deal to change one of the big guys' costumes. So you got used to them. That's the way you grew up with, loving these characters. And yes, now there have been a few characters where that's not the case, in terms of they had costume changes a bit more frequently. Like my beloved Legion of Superheroes, for example. They fiddled with their costumes a bit here and there. But obviously they didn't fiddle with Superman's that much over time, especially from golden to silver a little bit, but through silver through bronze, it was pretty much the same, and it was the way I loved it. Same with Batman, Spider-Man, and some other ones where the costumes weren't screwed with a lot. So, yeah. And Untold Legend, as Phantom just likes to point out right there, it was 1980, so that's just prime Batman costume. I can never get tired of looking at that. That's the best one for me. And there are other variations I don't mind too much, and then there are ones I despise, and it would take so long. It would take so long to go through the ones I can't stand. Because like I said, it took us 5 3-some-odd+ hour shows to go through every single variation on the Batman costume. That's how many there are. It's insane. What was I going to show you next? Oh yeah, Ezra. I almost forgot, buddy. I'm going to get off that for a bit, because I promised my buddy Ezra the other night that I would address something. Well, everyone else is talking about it, and I do have opinions on it. I don't really go with the popular flow sometimes, but I'll do that. The Doctor Who 60th anniversary special. Aired its final special, Empress and M. Ezra, and I'll just be brief about this. I don't want to give it a whole lot of play and a whole lot of time. Mark D and I talked about it a little bit. The Giggle, which of course was the third of the 60th anniversary specials created for us by RTD and his Bad Wolf group that have taken over the production of this 60-year-old show, which is dead to me personally. Spoiler alert, yeah. Ezra, and if you're still there, I would certainly be interested in your opinion. The first half of it or so, just managed the first two parts, part 1 and part 2, were mostly I thought pretty awful. Larry, thank you for the super chat, Larry. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, what did Adam West think of Keaton's Batman acting? He did not like that movie, or he was very vocal back when it came out, Larry, that he didn't like it. He thought it was too dark, too serious. He wanted to play the Doctor. He wanted to play the Batman again. And Adam West, I don't know what he said about Keaton's acting. I don't know what he said about that necessarily, but he wasn't complimentary about that. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Good to see you, Keely. So, yeah, Larry, all I can tell you is Adam West was not thrilled with any of that. So, I don't know if he commented on Keaton's acting or not. Maybe he did, but I remember he was very upset with it. He was very hurt that he was not asked back. So, The Giggle. Roll Tide, Keely. Bringing back a character like the Celestial Toy Maker, Dave C. Oh, you're already here. Cool. I thought Neil. First of all, I'll say this: Neil Patrick Harris was mildly amusing. His performance as the toy maker, that crazy accent he had that he brought back, it was almost undefinable, but it was amusing, I suppose. The first half of the special didn't have as much in your face preaching crap. It was more subtle. And it felt a little bit more like just a standard, but okay, mildly entertaining Doctor Who episode. But we can't have that now, can we? No, we can't just have a fun, celebration of the 60 years of this beloved, now tainted, now trashed IP. No, we got to dump on it some more. So, oh man, the last 10, 20 minutes or whatever it was, 15 minutes or whatever, Ezra, was a shite show in my opinion. We get this. Ugh. Good night, Penny. Have a nice night, my dear. It's great to see you. Take care. How do you put it into words? Because I don't even want to review this stupid thing. It has this weird. Yeah. Larry pretty much fearless time. I mean, he was good. I mean, he's playing the character that, the way he's playing it as himself. I mean, he played the music maestro on Batman Brave and the Bold, did a great job. He was the baddie on Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Remember that? That was pretty good. But this was atrocious. Ezra says, personally, I haven't watched any of the 3 Doctor Who anniversary specials. I don't, nor I want Disney Plus. Yeah, well, look, I don't blame you. Look, you're not missing anything. They're crap. They're not for true Doctor Who fans, in my opinion, because they dump all over the show. And this is why I consider it to be jumping on the show of the classic, of the real show. RTD had a couple of options to himself. The show Doctor Who is now played as a giant goof, says Empress. Pretty much. He could have done one of two things. He could have at least ignored the horrible trash that is The Timeless Child and just made a fun-loving special that says goodbye to the Doctor Who in a proper way that respects the fans of the old show by bringing back a beloved doctor like David Tennant, a beloved companion like Donna Noble. That was a step that people thought might be in the right direction. The problem is he threw a bunch of his idiotic intersectional politics into it, which really drags everything down, especially the very first episode. Not as much in the second one, but this mostly a boring, uninteresting story, in my opinion. It was not good. And they did have some of that stuff in there as well. Both of the first two episodes are just forgettable to me. Actually, the first one's more annoying than forgettable. The second one's really forgettable. Bored me to tears, but a lot of people seem to like it, so what do I know? Third, however, had the most potential to be the best of the three and was for about, maybe half an hour. So it felt, in spite of some of the things that were leaking under the subtext of the message, it felt closest to just a kind of an interesting and imaginative Doctor Who story. It had scary elements in it that Doctor Who stories have, and all this kind of stuff, and an interesting bring back an old villain was kind of a nice idea. Harris is fine playing himself in this role, but they could not keep the politics out of it, and they certainly couldn't keep. We knew we were going to get the next Doctor. The way they did it with the bi-generation. But even before that, by the way, they've doubled down on the timeless children, so they didn't even give us that. They could have still given us what they gave us here if they had retcon the retcon of the timeless children out, ignore it, or at least ignored it. It would have been something. But they've doubled down on it because Davies doesn't care. He knows fans that don't agree with this ideology also hate the timeless children. The timeless child. Actually, there are people who do agree with this ideology that hate it as well. A lot of Doctor Who fans hate it, regardless of what their politics are. They hate that idiocy. But he decided he would just piss people off by doing this thing called bi-generation, when after Doogie Howser shoots the Doctor penetrates his body with a laser thingy. He oh, good Lord. He splits them in two. They have this bio generation thingy, and they get pulled apart by Mel and Donna. Then they push each other, and they become two more adult. He's produced another version, copy of himself inside. Anyway, they look different, of course. And so when one of them doesn't have, and Chudy doesn't have pants, so Chudy runs around without his pants for a while, and even finds the magical way to duplicate the TARDIS because of his defeat of the Celestial Toymaker, which is a bunch of gobbledygook. So they both have TARDISes. Chudy runs off out into the universe to be Chudy for his new series. And David Tennant Doctor is so burnt out on all the world saving and trouble and violence and all this stuff that he retires at home with Donna and the family. And it sounds like something I'm making up, but it happened. And so, when Chudy starts on Christmas, he'll have his own little adventures and his own copy of the TARDIS. And he'll fight stupid goblins. They released a short about that, and we'll all go, woo. Who cares? And there you have it. And Ezra, I didn't go. There are plenty of videos I could show you that really just people savaging this garbage. I think it sucks, but I'm not going really all out on it because I just don't really care anymore. I mean, they're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to fix it. I've loved the show for 41 years. I'll continue to love my Doctor Who and continue just scoring this crap because this is not Doctor Who. I can handle crappy episodes, but not things that destroy the canon like that and insult the fans. But they're about the message. Well, that's great. You message yourself out of all the ratings you want. And Don says, if I may recommend High School Musical, the series, it is my number one Disney show. Well, there you go. Don has Disney, and he likes that. I'm not a musical fan much, to be honest with you, Don, so it wouldn't be something for me, but I put the recommendation out there. Anyone who has Disney Plus, if you're interested in that sort of thing. I know that's very popular, Don, so there you go. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I wish I had something to watch and enjoy these days. I don't have much. Also, they created a Not the Doctor knockoff that's copy than a real doctor for the series that is failing and losing ratings. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they hedge their bets. Just saying. Larry said, Gary Nerdrotic really loves Doctor Who. His reviews of New Who are real. Oh, yeah, he does love Doctor Who, and he knows Doctor Who. And he's as angry about this. I'm as pissed as Gary is. I couldn't make, but I can't really produce videos. I just do streaming and talk. He's fantastic at making videos. I love his videos and stuff. So, and he's great at expressing himself on these things, and gets a lot of crap over it, but he also does well and gets a lot of views. And I agree with Gary on this episode and what's going on with Doctor Who wholeheartedly. Water. Sorry, I needed some water. Well, as for me, I'm surviving as well, despite Hasbro layoffs. Well, you'll be okay, unless you're working for Hasbro. When I think of New Who, I think it says Emperor Sim. Yeah, it's called Dead Horse. Yeah, it is dead. Dead. Like they giggle. Yeah, it sucks. That stupid dance number that Doogie does. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's just doing his job. What are you gonna say? Just doing his job. Ugh. I can't believe David Tennant came back for that crap, though. I mean, he probably, I don't know. I mean, he's probably all down with all that shite, but it would seem to me that, I don't know, he just took the job. He needed, it's not like he's a gazillionaire or anything. He took the gig. I know he really loves Doctor Who, but indeed, Larry. It's bereft of life and rest in peace. If you hadn't nailed it to the perch, you ain't pushing up the daisies. This is an ex-parrot, ex-Doctor Who. He's run down the curtain and joined the bleeding choir invisible. He is no more. It rests in peace. He's not pining, he's passed on. Yes, sir, this is an ex-Time Lord. Did David run out of work? Says I don't know. I does not know. It is possible. I don't know about. Nah, he wouldn't run out of work. No, I think he legitimately likes Doctor Who. And when they asked him back, he missed it. And again, he doesn't have any control over this crap, so I don't blame him. You sign up, you do what you're told. The plumage don't into it, mate. He's stone dead. If, according to RTD, says Fanty, a person in a wheelchair cannot be bad, why didn't the knockoff doctor generate into a wheelchair? He has a user-friendly... Oh, that's another thing. Jesus Christ. Shooty's TARDIS has a little ramp and it's wheelchair accessible. Thank you, Gristle T. Davies, for bringing real understanding to the world. What an idiot. He's so SJW in the sense that he believes in symbolism over substance. So I take it, Clobby, you will not watch Doctor Who Xmas Special, says Goldstein. Ezra Goldstein. Ezra, I don't know. Like I've always said, I'll sit through any old thing. Out of curiosity, I might watch it. Hey, Brogu from my old hometown. What's up? And Adrian James, welcome, my friend. I've always said I'll watch any old crap. If I'm sitting around on Christmas Eve with nothing to watch, or Christmas or whenever that is, it's Christmas, right? I may well just say the hell with it and watch the thing. Christmas is on a Monday. Let me look at my calendar and see what's coming up for the show. So Christmas is on a Monday night. So I'll be home, obviously. Where else would it be? So I'll probably do it's a Monday night show. I know it's Christmas and everybody's gonna be doing stuff. I'll be on the air. Why not? Maybe I'll play It's Christmas at Ground Zero. No, you can get in trouble for playing songs. But I would play it if I could. If I were Mead Radio like Tom, I would play that song. With It's Christmas at Ground Zero by the great Al Yankovic. So, oh dear. What else we got going on tonight, I should say. What else? What you all got on your minds for our big 700th on YouTube, 1400th overall episode? Oops. Yeah. No questions, nothing to bring up, no topics that we need to cover. Best song, ending with an emergency sign. Yeah, it does. Blunt Slowly Reviews. What's up? Well, thank you, Blunt, for the reviews. Appreciate that. Thank you kindly. It's good to see you. Welcome to Cloberin Times. Yeah. What's that? What the hell? Okay. Yes. Tomorrow we're back to normal. Well, till Christmas, and then we'll become abnormal again, even. There you go. You know what I need? Oh, I need a pick-me-up. Let's see. It's sort of Christmassy. So how about a piece of candy? But I can talk while eating it. So it's like a power pill. Oh, it's a Miraculo pill from the Hour Man has. Very, very good. Hard candy. You gotta have that sitting at your desk at all times. Adrian says, "Oh, what's the next Blake 7 episode? That's Duel, the basically arena of Blake 7." That hit the spot. Empress, you need cookies? Boy, I could use some cookies. No, not right now, but I actually had some chess pie just now. My mom made. And whenever I have chess pie, but when my mom makes it, sometimes it doesn't go right. But when she makes it right, boy, is that good. I bet no one knows what chess pie is, do they? Well, that's okay. I don't know what it is either, other than it tastes good. Anyone ever heard of it, though? Anyone ever heard of chess pie? I don't know Blunt Philly as far as the contents, but I know it's good. Good. Let's see here. So Doctor Who's dead. Star Trek is dead. Did you know that there's someone here? They're actually doing a fifth season of STD. Why? And we got a con coming up at the beginning of January, which is a dumbass time for a con. I don't know why they do it like the week after New Year's. And Sanika Martin Green's going to be there. Whoop. Big deal. And people are going to go, who? But isn't it a dumbass time for a freaking con, though? Seriously, looks like it makes soft all the good stuff in life, butter, sugar. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. See, I don't like anything with like pecans or any of that kind of crap in it, and she knows it. So. Nah. Yeah, but a lot of kids don't go to cons, Fanty, and a lot of people who do go to cons more than kids, and it is more adults, and usually go to cons, and they're all spent out from Christmas. Yeah, kids might get a little money for Christmas, I guess, but usually they're giving gifts. I just think it's a lot of people complain about the same thing. They go there and say, "Man, I just spent all this money on Christmas. I don't want to go spend money at a con." But of course, it's not like you can just, you only get it once a year, so you have no choice, but it sucks. Go downtown, all that parking money, all that stuff. There's the question, Blunt. That is the question of the night. Blunt Philly Review says, are you going to bother watching Aquaman 2? Should I even bother reviewing that? Because I don't want to go. My friend a good buddy who makes me go all to Marvel movies, doesn't make me go to DC movies. So he's not going to force me to go see this one. Larry says, if there was a convention for convicts, it would be called ConCon. That would be a great name for it. Of course, that's what I'd have to call it. Yeah. So should I go review this drivel? There's 3 no's. Do I really want to watch that thing? I mean, to be honest with you, I found the first Aquaman movie to be like just borderline watchable one-time movie type thing that didn't really, other than that, I didn't really care for it. I mean, watched it, and I remember watching it in the theater thinking it was just sort of okay. Then like an idiot, I don't do this. I got other friends who do this. For some reason, I bought the Blu-ray. I can't remember why. I'm an idiot, though. No, because I'm a moron. That's why. I know other friends who buy because they have to have everything that comes out. But I'm not that way. So why I bought I don't know. And I watched it, and I was like, why did I buy this? And so I've never watched it again. Just Joe Jobber, what's up, buddy? Just watch Die Hard or Godzilla -1 at the theater again. I do want to go see Godzilla again. I'd love to see Die Hard at the theater. Is Die Hard at the theater for Christmas? I will watch Die Hard again, yeah. And I do want to watch Godzilla -1 again. So, I don't know about Aquaman, though. I might go in the daytime and watch it for like $5 at the cheap day. Middle of the day, if I'm not doing anything that day, if I don't end up having to do some work that day, go like the middle of the day, and so I can have me some popcorn and sit there. I'm not going to go first day or anything unless somebody wants me to review it for them. See, I don't like Momo that much. What's his name? Jason Momoa. I can't. Yeah. He bores me. Wow, I'm surprised by my buddy Don. He says I might wait till Aquaman sequel debuts on home media. Maybe I'll just do that too. But I won't go the first day. I don't care enough. But like that following Tuesday, I think tomorrow's the opening day, right? Yeah, it opens tomorrow, I believe. Okay. So next Tuesday, if I don't end up having to go do some my usual sometime daytime work that I end up with, I might go sit through it for $5 at the cheap theater. $1 in the theater this week, Joe? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maddie's daddy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Both hands on the wheel, bud. Adrian James says, I remember seeing the Godzilla from 1998 in the theater. That's one of the few movies I've ever actually ran out on, Adrian James. My good buddy Ace Castiron, who was here with us earlier, was with me. We ran out about 3/4 of the way through the crappy movie. But I don't like Momo as Aquaman. You know, Patrick Wilson, I've said this before, even in the first like stupid Aquaman movie, Patrick Wilson, who plays Orm, Ocean Master, his brother, actually looks way more like Aquaman should look than Jason Moface. Oliver Belamonte. Good to see you. Welcome, Oliver. Ravenscross has no interest in Momo's Aquaman. I don't blame you. No one is. How did that first movie make $1 billion? I mean, how? I don't get it. I know chicks like to go look at him with his shirt off, but if that doesn't do that again, then I'm wondering, was it like a one-time thrill? $1 billion for that thing. The movie itself, the first one was just okay. I didn't really like it or dislike it that much. It was kind of just sort of there. I mean, RRTNZ, hey. I didn't really care one way or the other for it. It was just blah. But I mean, it was amicable enough. But how did it make $1 billion? This one there's no way this one will. No way. Jason Mimosa. He's going to play Lobo, though, I guess. He's actually make a Lobo one of these days. Not Sheriff Lobo either. Whoopee, right? That's all we need. Anyway. Sorry, Aquaman is not swarthy, says Ravens. Yes, exactly, Ishness. Do you remember Starship Troopers? I saw that in the theater, says Adrian. I do remember it. I did see it in the theater. It's a very well remembered and very liked movie. I didn't really like it that much. I mean, I've liked sometimes a lot of things Paul Verhoeven has done. At the time, I thought it wasn't enough like the books, like the book was. I didn't like it that much. A lot of people really do love that movie for some reason. Dookie Howser was in that too. But yeah, it wasn't my bag. Again, I read the book and it was kind of kind of got away from the Heinlein book a bit much. But some people really liked it. So what are you gonna do? Every single time I hear Lobo, I think of Tor Johnson. No, yes. Ed Wood is a great movie. Tor Johnson, though, yep. Plan 9 from outer space. Yes, sir. So I guess that's the last thing that's even worth talking about in terms of movies coming out. Aquaman is that probably like the last superhero movie that's even bothering to come out for like a year or something. I just saw something again today about how, hey, Parker, look, good to see you. How that stupid ass fake Captain America movie from next year, Blue World or Brave New World, is hiring new writers to rewrite shite again. That's pathetic. I love how these movies that had the big massive rewrites still turn out to be crap. I don't know if I'm sure there've been plenty of good movies that we don't know about, or if you don't do any research, you just watch them. If they're really good that had rewrites done and different things like that. But sure seems like these days the ones you hear about with the rewrites are the worst ones. So what are you bothering rewriting it for then? Just Joe says Aquaman came when most superhero movies were making billion at the box office. The economy was great, and Momo was a big draw for it. That's true. Thing is, how many DC movies, other than maybe like the Nolan 2 Dark Knight movies, had made across the $1 billion? I don't think any of them, except that one, right? Was there another one other than those three? Come on, Clobby. Madam Web comes out in February. Oh, yeah, that's a superhero sort of movie, right? Not really. I'd say Ghostbusters Frozen Empire might be worth seeing. Yeah, it might be. I'll probably check that one out. I don't know when's that coming out, Fanty? This week? Next month? Next year? I don't know when it's coming out. Good night, Ravenscroft. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Madam Web, though. Just Joe. How about that? Just in time for Valentine's Day. Madam Web, straight to theaters, then straight to your stream. To any stream. Why in that? Again, there's another one, man. What are you doing making a movie like that? Why? God, why? Who needed that? Who was craving these movies about Spider-Man baddies? And she's not even she's nothing like the comic Madam Web. I know they've changed her. There's some new silly version, of course. There's the thing. Used to be someone would say, mention a character and go, yeah, well, they're this, that, and the other. And someone will go, oh, no. No, they're this. And they'll cite something. If you haven't been reading modern comics in 10, 20 years, they go, no, there's this one and that. What are you talking about? And go, oh, it's some new version of it? Well, I'm sorry, but when I read it, the original, this is what it was. So I don't count that new dribble. Well, you can, if you feel like it, but Madam Welp is a must review. No, thank you, sir. Instead of Madam Web, we should all go see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Youch. Oh, boy. Clobby, rumors of Superman Legacy film say that actor Kurt Russell might play Superman's dad, Jor-El. While James Gunn's brother, Sean, is said to probably play Checkmate's Black King, Maxwell Lord. Really? Sean Gunn is Maxwell Lord? Okay. I mean, I like him fine. I don't know about, I guess he could do it, but the nepotism is strong with the Gun, man, I swear. I like Sean Gunn, actually, though. It's just, really? All right, dude, whatever. I don't get it, though, but sure. I'm an old school pro wrestling fan, so I'm going to check out the Iron Claw at the end of the month about the Von Erichs, says the great Just Joe Jobber. What's up, buddy? Cool. That's excellent. RR, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Says, going out on a limb, predicting Aquaman is enjoyable nonsense and actually makes some money. Ending the year on a positive but baffling superhero film. Well, everyone, we will take let's take RR's prediction under advisement, and we'll see what happens. I don't have a prediction one way or the other. I can't really get a handle on it because I don't know who's going to want to see this. I think it might do some decent business early on, but unless it gets, if it gets any kind of negative word of mouth, then you got problems. If it gets halfway decent word of mouth, maybe that'll help it, but it could be killed early if it gets a lot of, bad press. I wonder how the embargo, is there still an embargo on the reviews? Because it's an opening tomorrow. Maybe it's not opening tomorrow. Maybe it is. I don't know. But thank you, RTNC. Don Don says, speaking of soups, tomorrow marks 45 years since Superman the movie debuted in the United Kingdom. And sometime this week or so was the debut here. Holy crap. I saw that in I saw that in December of 1978. So 45 years ago this week, I guess. Ballpark it. Or was it next week? I don't remember the exact debut day for the States. So just ballpark, close enough. Saw it 45 years ago. And then saw it 18 times after that. Or I think total 18 times. So I kind of lost count. 18 or 19. But it's somewhere up in there. And I went over and over again. I remember when I would go stay with my grandma on Saturdays. I mean, spend the night on Friday nights. And on Saturdays, she asked what I wanted to do. I'd have her drop me off at the movie theater, which wasn't all that far from where she lived, and stay there for a couple hours, go see a couple of movies. Well, sometimes I'd see that once or twice even. Yeah. Pre-show music, Larry, there you go. Oh, my God, man. That first time when I saw that big red S blasting onto the screen with that perfect, brilliant, beautiful John Williams score and those beautiful blue letters swooshing across the screen. Boom, 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 before the big red S shows up, of course. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, man. Fanty says, whoa, they moved Ghostbusters to 29th. March 29th, yeah. Yeah, I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty good. I agree. Looks interesting. Yes, the little girl reading the comic. Yeah, buddy. In the black and white Daily Planet building. Oh, man. This is no fantasy. No careless product of wild imagination. Great opening line. Richard Donner gave a damn. Gave us something wonderful. So did Christopher Reeve and George Reeves. I always thought that was just so weird that they had that close a name. Reeve and Reeves. Although George Reeves wasn't his real name. His name was George Besselo. And he had to get a name before that, too. Yeah, it's the best. Went and saw it a few years ago. I guess it was 2018. The 40th anniversary had a showing at a Fathom event for it was in 4K or something, whatever it was. And I went to see it there, of course. So Die Hard's in movie theaters right now, huh? Next year will be 20 years since the deaths of Christopher Reeve and Marlon Brando. They died the same year? Yeah. I did not know that. Wow, I did not know that. That is wild, weird stuff. Yep, John Williams was greatness. Well. What else has anyone got out there? What kind of geekness can we get in trouble here before we close up tonight? What kind of... It's Claude. There you go. I just popped in to say tonight that I was here for your first BTR show, and here I am on your final one. What? So sad you're resigning. Good luck in all future ventures. I am? I mean, oh, yeah. I'm going to miss you all. I'm going to miss you all. I did not know I was resigning, but I guess, he's probably right. It's for the best, isn't it? Well, in that case, check your Twitter DM, boy. RTNZ says, I know exactly what you mean about seeing Superman the movie in the cinema. Saw it as an 8-year-old in 1978. I loved it even more than Star Wars. Right there with you there, RR. Right there with you. I don't know if he's kidding or not, Larry, but he might know something I don't know, which is easy. He does know a lot of things I don't know because he's really smart and I'm not, so it could be it. Nobody ever tells me anything around here. So there you go. Jesus Christ. Nobody tells me anything around here. Larry, I'm the last to know everything. Bloody hell, nobody ever tells me it won't. All right. Let's see. What would be a good random Christmas comic to ooh. There you go. Here's something random and Christmassy. And I haven't read this in a while, but I bought it. Does anyone buy this comic when it came out? Five all new stories. Superstar Holiday Special. $1. Anybody? Bueller. Adrian says, my second movie I saw in theater was The Black Hole. I saw that in the theater also. We were at the theater at the same time. Alien in 1979, for months when I was going to see the Superman movie, Larry, that Alien trailer freaked me out every time. I had to see that Alien trailer every damn time. It was subtle. It wasn't like modern trailers. If I had social media, I'd be starting a campaign to send Clobby flowers and the gold watch. Thank you, Empress. I appreciate that. Nope, I've read that LA story before. I bought this when it came out. Join the world's greatest heroes in the quest of a dream. Jonah Hex. They even got the opener. He was a hero to some, a villain to others. And wherever he rode, people spoke his name in whispers. He had no friends, this Jonah Hex, but he did have two companions. One was death itself. The other, the acrid smell of gun smoke. Michael Fleischer, crazy as a bedbug. Dick Ayers, Romeo Tangal, yeah. So they got a Jonah Hex story. I might do that. This might be the one I do for Christmas. So I'm not going to show any of it. More of it. I think I'm going to just do this as a Christmas special next week. Why not? Why not? Yes. We have a visitor here. His name is Minimus Prime Ball. What's up? Yo.
But
What
am I here?
No.
Okay.
All kinds of things in the background.
I can't hear anything.
I hear TV. You don't hear TV in your background?
Oh, I forgot that I had a TV.
No
So
problem.
anyway, it was terrible to hear about your fatal diagnosis of Lyme disease, and that you were going to be resigning your show,
It's
and it's going
one
to be
thing to put shit
starting.
like that in the chat, but Jesus
No, but it's you're
Christ.
starting. The show is starting new with the new improved Clobby, who I think has no gender. His pants are fuchsia with sequins. Am I right? I think RTD created a new you.
Well, you could be. I'm writing it down though, because you never know.
Sorry. Yeah, it's so.
Don. So speaking of Superman, the movie, I did my Olivia Rodrigo AI cover of "Can You Read My Mind?" That's how it's pronounced. Stuff. Question mark. It'll be available to put up to the public on my YouTube channel for. Oh yeah, well Donnie will get somebody to get your link up there for your YouTube channel. And please subscribe to my buddy Don Ranger Powers.
So, are you talking about this milestone event, your
No,
700 show, or are you talking about Superman?
just talking about whatever pops in. It's just a wild card once a night.
Um,
I don't celebrate anything like the 700 episode. I mean, I note that it's the 700.
yeah. Why would you?
The 1400th, that's
14.
passe.
Yeah, everybody does that.
True.
You're just getting started. But how many times did you see Superman in theaters?
18. I think maybe more.
I think I only saw it 11. But that was back when we could go to movies, and it was like go on Tuesday, it was $1, or some of those places it was $1 until 6 o'clock. And
remember that Alien trailer? They used to freak me out when I would go see Superman movie because trailers weren't just all a bunch of clip, scenes that showed you shit in the movie. It was just like that high pitched scream, and it kept finally of revealing the letters.
Yeah,
and then it read, and this is in space. No one can hear you scream.
And they would, the letters would turn sideways.
Yes,
and there was a gleam coming off of it.
Every time I went to see Superman, I had to see that trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, it made me not want to go watch the movie because it was R. I couldn't go watch it at that point anyway.
I saw it, and I went home, and somebody, like the local news channel, had the weather lady out there getting people's reactions from it, and I liked it. I thought, man, that's pretty good. And then when she's standing there asking this one guy, and he's starting to give her what he probably considered would be a cogent answer, and it probably get him a date with her, and a guy comes out, busts right in between them, and says, "It was trash."
Thank you, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
Hey, we let Rex Reed in here. Yeah. Well, remember that bozo, Rex Reed. He only liked Superman 1 and 2 because he got to be in it.
Yeah.
2.
Well, I don't. Rex Reed was he was a critic who was he was a failed screenwriter. Much like Gene Siskel, I think. Gene
Is he
Siskel,
still around?
Who, Rex Reed?
Yeah.
Who knows? He's probably got a website like Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert died years ago. Roger Ebert, feel bad for him. He had a terrible, terrible death. It was a disease. His entire jaw was gone, but he was still writing. He was still reviewing movies.
Yeah.
And I think he finally died. I think he wrote for the Chicago Sun-Times.
He did. He definitely passed away. But
Siskel went first.
A few years before that. We recently, for some reason, my YouTube feed was popping up. Somebody had put tons and tons of Siskel and Ebert shows, from the old show on there.
Yeah.
And I was watching a bunch of that, really enjoying watching those old. We used to really. I mean, we'd always come back. Well, that Wienerhead said this, that didn't like that, but still, that was fun. That was a great show. They were great.
Well, also, they tried to replace when Siskel died. They tried to replace him with a guy named Roper, and the show became Ebert and Roper. And I went to see the movie Gods and Generals. I think it's a very good movie. It's historically accurate. it was a Civil War movie, so yeah, it's gonna divide people, but it happened. It's factual. Ted Turner was the producer of this thing, and Ted Turner. If you don't know what Ted Turner is by now, I'm just gonna tell you, he was a buff. He was a Civil War buff. He knew stuff. He appeared in Gods and Generals. He was one of the executive producers of what was the movie that took place after it? Had basically the same cast except
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. I think the only person that wasn't in Martin Sheen played Robert E. Lee in Gettysburg.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Robert Duvall was so damn good in Gods and Generals.
Yeah, Gods and Generals was really good.
And it was 3 hours and 45 minutes long. Here's Roper's review of it. At nearly 4 hours long, it's not worth watching.
Yeah.
Critical, incisive, meaningful to him.
I went a couple times, and that was the last movie I've ever seen that had an intermission.
Yeah. My son was. He wasn't a fan of the Civil War. He wasn't a fan of. I don't know what would you call them, rebels, but he knew it. He knew about historical accuracy, and I think I've talked to you about this before about Young Guns. People will not believe how historically accurate Young Guns is, but then you watch a movie that's based on fact, like The Great Escape, which is a great movie. It's all over the place. A bunch of that stuff never happened. They say these are an amalgamation of these people or whatever. And then HBO Showtime does a sequel. And their stuff was mostly historically accurate. But when it comes to this movie, it was right down the line. It was a history lesson, and you had people there that were making sure nobody got glorified. It was the last movie that I liked that guy in. What was the guy from Dumb and Dumber?
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. That was the last movie I liked him in. He and C. Thomas Howell played brothers, and here's a bit of his historical.
Yeah, I remember that.
He called him Lawrence. He said, "Don't call me Lawrence." He's supposed to refer to him as Colonel Longstreet.
Yeah.
And he apologized. So.
Yeah.
And another scene that supposedly, there was nobody there taking pictures. A rebel soldier and a Yankee soldier met like in this by a creek, and one of them wanted some tobacco for his rolling papers, and the other one wanted some coffee. So, warring people, different sides, standing with this little stream going through them. I'm sure it was their imagery they were going for. They swapped. He let the rebel guy have some of his coffee, and the rebel guy gave him some of his tobacco.
I remember. Yeah. That's a good movie. Let's see here.
And anybody? It is long.
Yes, it is. Let's see here. Anybody have anything? Did you? Because this is the night to ask the questions. It's the wild card time. So, if anybody has anything, any subjects to bring up, it is now the time. Tomorrow night we will have, of course, the clubhouse will be doing our Blake 7 review, our Star Trek comic review, and we might do some other Christmassy stuff. We'll see.
Christmas already?
Christmassy stuff. Well, it's not already.
Can I just throw something in here?
I doubt it.
It's about comic books. I have been collecting Action Comics forever. Even like Action Comics Weekly, I collected them after that. I probably missed a few, but recently they started doing these things where they do these painted covers, and they did one that looked like George Reeves. They did one last month that looked like Bob Holliday, the Broadway Superman. But half of this book is Superman Action Comics. The rest of it is these ancillary characters that mean nothing except filler for this book. And I'm about to quit and do something that I should have done a long time ago. I just bought the Superman War World Omnibus the big paperback, and it doesn't have all. It may have some of the silly crap from the beginning of the story where he was on Earth with Lois, and they're about to start. He was about to leave to go to War World to fight Mongol for however long it took. I do believe that was their way to get rid of Superman and bring in the new young Superman. But I'm about 2 minutes away from dropping Action Comics because I know it used to be an anthology story, but somewhere in the 50s, I think, it was all Superman.
Yep.
And
And it
suddenly
didn't
we got
become,
suddenly we got two backup stories.
and then I remember like in the in the 90s, late 90s, it sort of became an anthology again when that all was different. Remember Action Comics Weekly for a while?
Yep. I got all of those.
Empress M says, what's your favorite Batman in film portrayal? Empress, for me, I guess it's obviously going to be Adam West, because if you want to leave him out because of, and just talk about, although he wasn't a movie, technically, they did a movie.
It was in one.
Then I'm going to say Kevin Conroy from Batman Mask of the Phantasm. But if that doesn't let me off the hook and I have to pick somebody else,
I would concur. They worked together on one episode too.
Yes. So if we're just going to leave those out, because those are the best for me, they're my favorites. I got to admit, I don't really like any of the other portrayal. I mean, I like Adam Council. There you go. Then I hope. Then well, he's my favorite. Then and then of course I love Kevin Conroy. But let's just leave him out for a second, just to address everybody else's. I don't. Michael Keaton does a decent job in the role, but you got to look like Batman too, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer doesn't look like him either. Does an okay job in the role. He's fine. George Clooney sucks, but even he admitted it.
He apologized. Was it him or the director that apologized?
The director apologized. Yeah, Clooney did in a way too. He kind of said like, "Well, I killed the franchise."
Yeah.
But it was the studio that. Anyway, Bale. It's a good performance. He's just not. I never will see him as. I don't think about Batman. I always call the Nolan movies Batman for dummies. I thought Batman Begins was okay, and the first Dark Knight movie was called Dark Knight. The second movie, okay, but not really my kind of Batman. And Dark Knight Retires is poo-poo.
Yeah.
And then you have, I guess, Ben Affleck, right? I hate Snyder and all that stuff. Affleck does an okay job as an older Batman, but again, he's just in lousy movies, so, it's not his fault.
So why are you still calling him Affleck if you liked him in that movie?
Because he's still Ben Affleck. He's a total moron.
Yeah.
He did a good job in those roles. It's just that they're crappy movies.
But
and then there's Sparkly Batboy.
Oh God.
Tried
to watch it 3 times, fell asleep every damn time.
I just don't like the Batman movie much. Some friends like it. That's great. Sparkly Batboy's performance itself is just sort of there, but I can't get into any of it. So none of them do much for me other than Adam and Kevin Conroy. Just me though. And you can give me yours if you want, Empress, if you tell me who your favorite is. Do you have a favorite? Minimusness?
Oh, well, it's got to go back to my first Batman.
We forgot Lewis Wilson, though.
Well, we forgot Douglas Croft.
And Douglas Croft.
And anyway, when I was a kid stuff really mattered to me. And I was 8 years old when Batman came on. And my father, who was still with me with a family at the time, he later left because he was an a-hole. One night he brought home, and I wish I'd kept them, packages of Batman bubblegum cards, and it said on the cover 5 cents. I don't know, either like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm sitting there, I tear them open with a wild abandon. Batman's inside this thing. I was really disappointed because none of those things looked like Adam West. I did get the one with the Joker where he had it was just like powdered makeup. Like if you saw the TV show, whenever they showed the Joker's hands close up when he was in prison, his hands weren't chalk white like his face. And that the villains are still from that series. The villains are still my favorite versions of the villains because they were the kind that I was introduced to. Um, Batman had a guy called the Eraser, and it was on the cover where Batman is rubbing. I mean, the Eraser is rubbing Batman out, and I saw this at a barber shop. That's how old I am, folks. I saw this at a barber shop, and I asked the guy if I could have it because my haircut was done and we had to go, and I didn't finish the comic. So he said, "No, they're here for the customers." And I asked my dad, like, "When can we come back to get another haircut?" And he looked at the book and he goes, "That's 12 cents." I said, "Yeah, but I'm not. I just want to come back." This haircut was, get this, folks. This is ancient history. Haircut was 50 cents. The comic book was 12 cents. I didn't know what money was. I wanted my father to buy that 12-cent book for me, and he wouldn't do it. Cheap bastard. Um, I have it now, but I paid slightly more than 12 cents for it. I think I paid $25 for it, and it's kind of disappointing. Great cover.
Of course. Hey, Starships of Greatness. Hello there. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome. And Matthew Pounder, what's up? Kimasabi, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, everyone. Well, there you go. Yep. So that was a good question, though, Empress. But I do feel bad about at least not addressing, Lewis Wilson and Douglas Croft. They don't get enough.
What was the other guy? The other guy was like Robert something.
Robert Lowry.
Yeah. And they drove around in Howard Cunningham's DeSoto.
Yeah. So there's Lewis Wilson and Robert Lowry. That's right. Douglas Croft was Robin.
Robin, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Hey, your Muslim uncle. What's up, brother? Doomcock Raid. How's our buddy DC doing over there? He was having some fun talking about the giggly, but we're not going to talk. We already talked about that here. So, yeah. Your Muslim uncle, good to see you there, buddy. I hope you are doing well, sir. Yes. So it almost seems that there were more. Now, what were there more? Were there more cinematic Supermans or more cinematic Batmans? Let's see.
Well,
let's see. Kirk Allen,
George Reeves. That movie. I mean, I can't. How can you call it a movie? It was an hour long, or an hour and 6 minutes long, but it was released in theaters.
Yeah, well, live. Okay, live screen. Whether it was cinema, whether it's I'm saying whether it's a movie or TV.
Yeah.
So Kirk Allen and George Reeves
and we met Kirk Allen. Didn't you meet him?
We did. Yes. Oh yeah, it was great. Was it Johnny Rockwell? No, because that didn't air, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
We're not counting. We're not counting.
It was the same producer.
We're not counting. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
No. I kind of want to put him off to the side. Yeah, it was a late night thing on ABC or CBS or something. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, starring that guy and mega superstar Jack Cassidy. And Leslie Ann Warren. Warren as Lois Lane. Hot damn, she was hot.
I was supposed to say 1, 2E.
But then I was 10, so.
So we're going to just go with the ones who actually played them on TV or movies. Allen, Reeve, 3. John Hames Newton, and we're counting Superboy.
Yeah.
Okay, Wes Cagle, welcome. Then Gerard Christopher. We don't count. We're not doing
Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh played him in a movie and on TV.
I'm not counting Tom Welling because he wore the costume once.
Yeah,
do we count him?
Second. It's the same character, but it was a TV show. And the actor refused to wear the costume. So.
All right, screw him. All right, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill,
Tyler Hoechlin.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's like 8.
Oh, this is the
new guy now.
The next season of Superman and Lois, whatever, is going to be the last one.
They're making that still.
And and I kind of liked it because it was more along the lines of Superman with a family. I didn't like him having twins, and they kept pushing some kind of an agenda until somebody reeled that back. Because remember, there was a woman at the beginning who said her fingerprints are all over this show. Turns out she was one of 15 producers, and she got fired after like 3 episodes. And when she said her fingerprints are all
Yeah.
over the show, she wanted to put her stamp on it. Her stamp would have ruined it. And I'm not saying it was perfect. It's like, what do they call it? It was an imaginary story. It was an Elseworld story, and of course they couldn't get Lana right. They never can, except for
Yeah.
Annette O'Toole. And
Yeah. And well, Stacey Haydick was wonderful.
yeah,
Larry. I did mention that when I said Johnny Rockwell. He played Superboy in that unsold Superboy pilot.
how about Super Pup?
That doesn't count. No. In that case, Tom Welling counts. No, he doesn't really.
He's a Super Pup.
How about so that's like 8 and 9 if you count the new guy who's beefing up the clan or whatever.
Yeah,
And Batman,
Sweat.
and so Batman, it was Lewis and Lowry and West, Keaton. I guess we won't count animation just for the sake of argument. Keaton, what's his face? Kilmer,
Olden Sube.
Clooney, Bale, Asslick, and Sparkly Boy. That's 9.
Have they announced who they want to be the next Batman? Because I have my doubts about Gunn's new DC universe.
No, not yet. Anyway, and they're supposed to be doing it with they're calling it like the Brave and the Bold movie or whatever. And it's going to be really stupid.
If they race swap Black Lightning, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, like they would do that. He's already the correct race, so they won't. Don't worry. I know you're being facetious, but I'm just saying.
No, Black Lightning was one. He was one of the new superheroes when I was a kid reading comics. He just sort of came up one day, and I'm going, "What is this?" He's a school teacher. His name's Jefferson Pierce, and he put on a metal afro that helped him. It helped him focus his electrical powers.
Yeah.
And then he became some kind of bioelectric being.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, I didn't watch that show with him on it, but I guess some people liked it.
It was okay, but it got real soap opera type real quick.
CW.
Yep, I ran away from it as soon as I saw that. He had a wife and 2 kids, and one of his kids checked a box. The other one was a genius, and I don't know if you remember Thunder and Lightning, where his daughter and he was Black Lightning, so they were Thunder and Lightning, and they carried on to the TV show, but it was terrible. And for some reason, when they did their version of Crisis on Infinite Earths, I'm not spoiling this for anybody. I'm doing you a favor.
I can watch it.
When Black Lightning just showed up, his world had been destroyed. It's gone. His wife is gone, never existed. His kids are gone, never existed. But somehow he got there, and he's part of the Super Friends or Superpowers team on this one, and he seemed to miss them. I think he missed them for about 10 seconds because you have to address it.
Yeah, but then he realized they were a bunch of pains in the ass, so he didn't give a crap.
Yep, causing a lot of drama.
Yeah, Scroogum, I say.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness, this. I don't know what we're gonna do. Tomorrow night we're gonna do the usual stuff, but then we're gonna start doing Christmassy stuff for the shows.
Christmas at Ground Zero. How about that one?
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that one for sure. Maddie's daddy, what's up, dude? Good to see you. What were I gonna? What was Oh yeah. What in the hell? Glitchy ass. Just look at this there. Enjoy this. Or one bang the rocks together, guys. You ever see that? Yeah, Wagner did. Wagner rocks. He even did this one. A chicken man. You need this one.
Draw that man in a chicken suit. It's the Chicken Man!
Good Lord.
Oh, well. What else is going on out there, folks? You got any questions? Tonight's the time. I know we're all quiet tonight, but anybody got one? Usually, got so many questions I can't get to them.
Well, you have just enough that you can get to them. Do you have a one-word review for the new radio show version of Blake 7 that you can share with us without popping a vessel?
Yes. Crap.
Okay.
How's that?
I thought it was going to be yes. I mean,
oh, no, it was crap.
okay.
Clobby, which actor portrayed the best version of the Joker? Wow, that's a good question. Hey, Congo Kids Club, Doomcock Raid. Hey there, good to see you. What is the square root of pi? It's funny you mentioned that. I had some pie tonight. It wasn't square though. It was like pie shaped. I had a chunk of it. So the square root was the piece I cut off, which was sort of like like arrow shaped, an arrowhead shaped when I cut it off.
Like a Pac-Man now.
Yeah, and it was called chess pie. My mom made it. It's really good. So that's
damn! I love your mom's chess pie. I've had it once.
So man, it's so. Oh, did you know that? I didn't know you did.
Yep.
It was fantastic, and man, I'm hoping that my son forgets it's in there so I can eat the rest of it tomorrow. DJ Ronnie J. I hope he didn't hear that because he can have it. I don't want to take his. Sorry about that, Oliver. You know what, Oliver? Again, I love Cesar Romero, of course. But I got it as far as playing the comic book version of the Joker, the really, the nasty one. I thought Nicholson did him perfectly correct.
Oh.
I really like him in it. I mean, Heath Ledger was his performance to me is I hate to say overrated about something like that, but I wasn't all that into the Heath Ledger performance. It was good enough, and it was good for that movie.
He didn't seem like the Joker. He just seemed like a psychopath.
Yeah, and he looked terrible. Part of the Joker is to look right. He looked like somebody slammed his face into a Mary Kay cabinet. I couldn't stand his face. And yeah. So I'm going to go with Cesar and Jack Nicholson. Those are the two. I don't need. And who else even did it?
Ted Baxter. Ted Knight.
It was a voiceover, but yes.
I know.
How about Larry Storch?
Oh, on the radio or what?
Larry Storch did it on the Filmation show.
Oh, okay.
I always thought it was Ted Knight also, but it was actually Larry Storch. Weird, isn't it?
I just remember the one where the Penguin. Well, I'm thinking of the Scooby-Doo cartoon. Penguin and Joker were trying to commit some kind of crime, and they fell down into this pit. And the Joker's trying to climb out, and Batman hits them with his bat pun. The Clown Prince of Crime has now become the Crown Prince of Climb. Real? Okay.
Well, for the longest time, I did think it was Ted Knight. Then a couple of years back, Larry Storch lived until just very recently, and he was
almost
almost 100. And you see him on Facebook all the time talking about different stuff, and people were talking about how he did the voice of the Joker on that cartoon. And I was saying, "Are you sure it wasn't Ted Knight?" But no, it was Larry Storch. Really. Weird how you misremember things.
A good friend of ours, David Sexton, who lives in New Jersey now, takes his family like almost weekly to a Broadway play, and he went to one, and he said it was just basically you bought a ticket, you go in and sit down. There was no seats assigned, so he goes in and he sits down, and a guy comes in and sits down right next to him, and it's Larry Storch. Okay, now I respect somebody's privacy. I might go, how's it going? But David started talking to him about some play he was in the 60s when he was doing F Troop. He said he just looked at him, pushed on his chair arms, and got up and walked away. A brush with semi-fame.
Yaggle. Let's see, we got a couple of questions up in here. R says, Globby, if you're going to talk about the new Blake 7, you can't say crap because it's British. Correct word is bollocks. Exactly. Get this in the bollock for a start, mate.
That was years ago though, and it still
It is.
stings.
It is bollocks. Yes.
Yeah.
I think Superman radio serial, the Flasher animated, had Superman fly first before the comic. The radio show did, from what I understand.
What?
Ezra, huh?
Who played the best Riddler? I mean, is there any doubt in your mind? John Aston.
Come on now. Frank Gorshin cannot be paralleled in my
No.
in my opinion. Ezra, that Bubba's waddling bird couldn't finish a bag of popcorn. I can't even. If you try to do the laugh, it'll take the life out of you. How he did that laugh?
He's basically Daffy Duck.
Yeah, Frank Gorshin was the best. I love John Aston, but he should have just been somebody else.
He was a fill-in, and I don't know why Frank Gorshin never came back.
He should have been the puzzler.
Yeah.
Maurice Evans.
Like Julie Newmar left, and Eartha Kitt came in. Nothing against Eartha Kitt, but she's like 4'11". Julie Newmar was a tall woman, and she was bumped out in all the right places. Eartha Kitt actually did look and sound dangerous. Like they used her voice because she sounded dangerous on The Emperor's New Groove. And if you ever hear her sing, I mean, it's very, her singing style is like she wants every man in the theater to climb up on stage and be there with her. And their wives can just go out and have a beer, whatever. Your husband's going to be up there on stage with Eartha for a while. So, sorry.
Well, Gorshin did leave, but he came back for a while. He came back in the third season. Contract dispute. Yeah, I guess.
Who else? Cliff Robertson.
What about him? He was Shane.
He was Shane. He was Uncle Ben, not the rice guy.
No, he was Uncle Ben. Yeah.
Van Heflin was the Archer. Was he supposed to be somebody else, or was that
Ed Norton was the Archer?
I mean, who was Van Heflin? The
Van Johnson, you mean?
The
Johnson,
minstrel. Whatever. The minstrel.
A wandering minstrel. Hey, Indie Key Comics.
Wait, sing the song. You know what song I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. No, the first one was Batman and Robin rotate and revolve as the heat mounts, their bodies dissolve. As they spin round, they shrivel and melt. Soon there'll be nothing left but their utility belts. I love it. I love that episode. I actually love that episode.
And his outro.
Oh, yeah. Wait for the jailbreak, Batman. You've not seen the last of me. I'll clobber you and Robin. Wait and see. You'll vibrate both together. I'll shake off your heads. Oh, just you wait for the jailbreak, Batman. You'll be dead. Oh.
Okay, I think he's passed the audition, folks. So what do you say, Clavy?
It was pretty bad.
New minstrel.
The minstrel. The only in one episode.
Huh?
It was Art Carney as the Archer. Maurice Evans is the puzzler.
Roddy McDowell is the bookworm.
Yep. I love all those one-time villains. Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo.
Not Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo was going, I'm dead, leave me alone.
No, what's his face?
Victor Buono.
Victor Buono he was a multi-villain. He was King Tut.
Was W.C. Fields as King Tut.
Vincent Price was great.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think Jim Carrey was funny in that movie, Esri, but I heard he was shitty to Frank Gorshin, so he could suck it. And he was a little over the top. I mean, it was just too over the top for that.
Are you talking about him as the Riddler?
Mm-hmm.
Because he told a story, and it's all over the YouTube shorts, about working with Tommy Lee Jones. He said he was thrilled to be working with Tommy Lee Jones. And Jim Carrey acted a certain way when he's doing a movie. He became the character. He was like Val Kilmer. You don't talk to Jim Carrey. You talk to the Riddler. You talk to Edward Nygma. And he said one time he was at, while they were still making a movie, he went to a restaurant and somebody said, hey, that's what's his name over there? Al Gore's roommate. And You want to go say hi to him?
Tommy Lee Jones.
He said, yeah, sure, I want to go talk to him. And he goes over to him, and he thinks he's telling him what a great actor he is and all this stuff. And Tommy Lee Jones does one of these come here looks, and he leans down into him, and he said something like, I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Wow.
He was very put off by Jim Carrey's method.
Wow. You know what gets me about that is what about his buffoonery? They wrote Harvey Two-Face. God, I hated when they called him Harvey Two-Face. His Two-Face was just the Joker acting like the Joker. He wasn't acting like Two-Face.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why do they pick the villains that they pick, and why do they always have to have two, except for the one time when they had three? Like Penguin and Catwoman didn't seem like they would go together.
Yeah.
I've always thought that Danny DeVito's Penguin was kind of disgusting, but that Catwoman was okay.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah.
And Bane, they threw Bane away in 5 minutes.
Well, in the Batman and Robin, they did with Gene Swinson. Then he was terrible and stupid ass Dark Knight Retires. Your punishment will be more severe. My name is Bane. Everyone loves my stupid voice. My voice is almost as stupid as Christian Bale's in this movie.
Just think about that. That's Tom Hardy. He's been in some really good stuff. So has Gary Oldman. They could be sitting there talking to each other about how good they could do this movie. They could bring it up another level. And then he goes, oh, you're the Batman. No. It's starting to sound like Burgess Meredith there.
That movie. Here's why Dark Knight Retires sucks. I mean, Dark Knight sucks in some ways. I hated the ending of Dark Knight. Dark Knight Retires. We joined him. It's 8 years later, and he quit about 8 years ago. So if you tally up between all three of the movies, the time he spent as Batman, it only comes up to like a year or two over the course of almost a decade. That's not Batman to me. Batman's not a quitter.
Well, I think Nolan was trying to do some kind of realistic Batman where
yes, he was.
The toll that all his physical abuse on his own body would take on him would eventually slow him down. And you don't go into a Batman movie for realism. Hell, when I went to see Godzilla -1, I was going, God, I hope he speaks English and can fly. And there was nothing realistic about Godzilla. It was just that was as somebody else said on here, it's the best movie of the year. For me, it is.
It's unlike, look, I love all the silly Godzilla movies and they're great. This was different from that. It has a very human. Stay Tobor the robot. What's up, buddy? He says the biggest issue with the Batman movies was not enough robots. Of course, I've been trying to tell people that for years. If there were more robots in Batman movies, we'd be better off. But it's a very human story, and I would everything that I loved about this Godzilla -1 movie I should hate. It should go against everything I believe in when it comes to a Godzilla movie because I want to see monsters. I don't give a shit about humans. Yet the humans have a great, brilliant story, and they use Godzilla perfectly well, balanced into the film, which they did not do with that horrible Shin Godzilla.
Well, I went in. I told my wife, I want to see Godzilla stepping on stuff, burning people with his radioactive breath, swinging his tail around and knocking skyscrapers down, tearing up trains. I don't care about the people. And then I started to watch it, and I really, after a while, I was getting kind of bored with all the people stuff. And then you get the power of the story of a guy who thought of himself as a failure,
kamikaze, yeah,
and he had a chance to redeem himself, and really, a real surprise ending that I didn't expect, and because I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to what happened, and it was one of those things where I didn't expect this, but I got this, and it was a really good movie. And they said it's over, it's gone, and maybe you'll see it on DVD or whatever. And then I guess the people in Japan, the bean counters, heard that it made like 3 times its budget back. They said, "Oh, let's put it in for a little
Yeah,
while
they're
longer."
extending it, getting some extended viewings, which is good. I might try to
Supposedly,
go back.
it's 2 more weeks, and I think more theaters. But whether you're a Godzilla fan or not, it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and my wife, who watches all kinds of crap with me, enjoyed it too.
Tobo the Robot. Will the sequel star Mecha Godzilla? I don't know, man, but I will be rooting for you, buddy, because movies without robots are roboist.
Yeah.
They're racist against robots.
Was it Mecha Godzilla in Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah, I believe so. The old one, anyway. And I mean the new one.
I mean the new one.
And the new one
that
that
came out a few years ago.
that was sort of a mecha. Yeah, it was. And next year there's Godzilla X Kong, which means that's why they got a deal. Legendary Pictures has a deal with Toho that they can't have a movie in the theater at the same time. So that's why you only have to the end of this month for Godzilla -1 to play. Eric K, what's up, brother? And Jill, thank you so much, Jill. Welcome. You didn't have to do that. You're too kind, Jill. Thank you. Says, congratulations on your 700th YouTube video and 1400th broadcast. Thank you, Jill. Love you. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well tonight, dear. Good to see you all. Where are we? So yeah. I really liked it. And again, I just by my own normal rules for a Godzilla movie, I shouldn't have, but it was just amazing.
I guess you thought about it the way I thought it was a surprise that I actually enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yep. I was totally shocked. And what got me was the human story in there. Yeah. This was the whole kamikaze thing. At the first I almost wanted to hate that guy for a while, and then it kind of made me.
Yeah.
He was a whiner.
Well, then it got worse.
Yeah.
I really am not going to spoil this movie for you, but the guy who was a kamikaze thought of himself as a failure because he didn't slam into a boat. He gets a little bit of happiness, and he gets yanked away from him.
Yeah. So it's got like some extended. Hey, Don. Don says, "Oh, thanks, Don. Appreciate that, buddy." And but yeah. So I might go try to see it again. I'll see it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna. I don't think our buddy Chris is gonna drag me to see Aquamomo. But
about that, if you go to Walmart, there's a section in the middle, like right out in front of the toy department. It has the Aquamomo Aquaman figure. It's one of those limited, has hardly any articulation at all. And then there's one of Orm standing right next to him.
He looks more like Aquaman.
I want to take Orm's head off and take Aquamomo's head off. And I don't care what happens to Aquamomo's head. I want to put that Orm head on the Aquaman body.
He looks so much more like Aquaman.
He does.
It's ridiculous. Thank you, Eric K, for the $2 super chat, buddy. He says 13,600 more to go, and you can retire, Clubby. Thanks. I'm on the road. I'm on the way. On the road again.
It's like we were talking earlier somewhere else about the Fantastic Four. Not everybody knows this stuff. We know it, but it's either new to them or it's just a job. And when they said Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I was thinking, well, I guess he's gonna have to shave and get a haircut and dye his hair, because there's an old picture of him somewhere where he was younger. He had no beard, no long hair, and his hair was blonde.
Really?
It was from a TV show, which I think was made in Australia.
What's up? What's up there, Marco?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
The D with the C is here, the engineer. Oh, see, Oliver says, I couldn't stand the silly 60s Batman villains, Kite Man, Egghead, False Face, Sun Fang, Killer Moth, Minstrel, and King Tut, but they get the biff, boff, bam punches by the dynamic duo. It was worth it. Gotcha. Well, I like all those villains, but I hear you. I'm weird that way. Ezra says, Clobby, did you watch Godzilla versus Space Godzilla? Oh, yeah, way back when.
Space Godzilla.
My son's a big time Godzilla fanatic, Ezra. So back in the 90s, I was I was feeding his habit. I would bring him G-Fan magazine all the time. I got him every figure back then, when he was in his younger years, his formative years. Canadian Spider-Man does whatever a Canadian spider can. What's up, buddy? And so, yes, I've seen them all with him, including Godzilla Final Wars, which is one of the weirdest movies ever made.
And as usual with these movies, we're just sitting there. Wasn't a whole lot of people in there. And a guy comes down and says, "Excuse me," talking to me, my wife, "which one of you is the Godzilla fan?" And I pointed to myself, and I don't know what she likes because, I've only been married to her for 15 years. Why should I know? So he says, "That's what I figured." And he's telling me about how he loved Godzilla. He used to watch Godzilla. He was like, he felt like he was the only person. He said, just like Star Trek. He said, I felt like I was the only one. And I went, me too.
The only thing I thought, they kind of went a little bit too far, was that scene where he stopped for a second and he started dancing. "Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal." I said, you didn't have to have a musical. It's totally doesn't work in this film.
And then when they called people's attention to it, all he said was, "Ribbit."
Ribbit. So Mark D has not seen it yet, much to his shame, but he will one day.
No, I just can't wait to see Godzilla do that song and dance number. Yeah.
Yeah, now that you know that,
Aliens.
That should entice you to go.
What are you a Godzilla fan, or you just want to see a good
I love
movie?
Godzilla. Yep. I just watched. What did I watch? Destroy All Monsters or All Monsters Attack?
Yeah, Destroy All Monsters is a great one.
Yeah, I was watching.
Are they on HBO Max? Because they're on a bunch of them on there.
The old ones are.
Yeah, because I had some really bad copies from my DVDs, and then let me see if they're on HBO Max, and a lot of them are on HBO. I didn't even. I think they have them almost all of them on there.
Claudia goes back to VHS.
We had some. Say, my son has a bunch of them, not all of them anymore, but he's watched them all. Destroy. I was talking about how did either one of you see Godzilla 2000?
I think I saw that. Was that the one where Godzilla has the? Oh wait a minute, which is Godzilla?
Was that the one with the guy standing on the edge of the building?
Yes.
Yeah, he thought they had a rapport.
No, that's a different one. He was mad at Godzilla. He's the one. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. But no, in this one, all right. In 1996, they made it was a big deal in Japan that they did a movie called Godzilla versus Destroyer, and he was fighting Destroyer, and he hurt Godzilla and wounded him. So the whole episode, Godzilla was melting down, and eventually dies beating Destroyer, and they made a big deal about it. It was the death of Godzilla. So Godzilla 2000, his son, who was pretty young in the one in Destroyer,
right? Yeah.
So 2000 is G Junior, all grown up, and he looks slightly different. He ends up there's this dude you're talking about that stands on the edge of this building. The human stars in the movie are all on this building, and this one guy's got this. He's like, I guess he's sort of, for lack of a better term, like the Nick Fury of this organization that tracks Godzilla and stuff. So at the end, Godzilla walks over to the building. There you go. And there he is. He walks over to the building. And the guy looks at him in the face. Godzilla just ends up beating this. See that monster right there? That really weird looking Geiger alien monster thingy? Mm-hmm. He beat him and he saved Tokyo. He walks over to the building, and that guy just, for some reason, Godzilla! Mark, some friends and I that you all know, all of us went in New Orleans to see it, Minimus. And we all sitting there when I brought my son to see it. And we're all like giggling our asses off like 12-year-olds, just laughing. So, Godzilla looks at the guy for a second. Then he says, "Screw you." And he hits him with his hand. He doesn't even burn him. He just smashes him with his hand in the building. So Godzilla walks off.
Way to treat your fans.
Yeah, but
he's a modern comic book creator.
Godzilla walks off, though, and we're all like, okay, that's it. He's walking. He saved the day. And then he stops and he says, "Hey, by the way, Tokyo, F you." Atomic fires the shit out of Tokyo.
That's what I liked about the new Godzilla movie. Remember how cute and cuddly he was? Godzilla's a bastard now. He's a bastard again, I mean to say.
This is his early bastard goes. And in fact, at least we got the music. So, but it was Godzilla in 1991. They did Godzilla versus versus King Ghidorah. Where he walked up, he had this flashback to his origin. They retconned his origin a little bit, like this movie sort of does. And there was this guy who was during the war. He met the dinosaur Godzilla, little bitty dinosaur that was being attacked by evil Americans, and they helped him. They helped Godzilla, so Godzilla helped them. And anyway, he's kind of like this guy's runs this big company now or wherever downtown, and he's in the skyscraper, and he sort of has this like religious reverence for Godzilla for some reason or whatever. So after Godzilla kicks Ghidorah's ass, he walks up to the skyscraper, and there's this scene where the old man looks out of the window, and Godzilla looks at him in the eyes, and the narrative of the film is like they're remembering each other. Godzilla's remembering the old man saluting him and shit. And you're like, oh, this is so sweet. Godzilla remembers him. He loves Godzilla. He remembers him being saluted by the old man. And you're like, okay. And I remember him sitting there with a buddy of mine. We were watching this thing. This is really nice. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah, yeah.
And the scene's probably... So we're sitting there. We hadn't seen the movie before, right? And all of a sudden, Godzilla says, screw you. Boom! And he atomic fires him. I mean, he burns this dude up. And we're just... fell off the chair laughing. So I was like, what in the hell, man? He just burned it. I can't stand it. It kills me to this day when I think about it. It's
so the one I cannot and will not ever watch again is the Ferris Bueller Godzilla. Can't watch it.
Godzilla 1998. The one in Madison Square Garden.
That's not Godzilla. That's
where he dropped a bunch of his babies.
Thanks,
and they never did a sequel, thank God.
It's all about Godzuki. You all know that. Godzuki. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what's on HBO Max.
Canadian Spidey says, Club is aware that you are on OT now, right? On OT now? Santa River Jill, you must have deep pockets. You're what?
On overtime? I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know what that means. It's other overtime.
We're old. We don't know those.
Yeah. There's some oldies. All right. Godzilla versus Megalon.
This is what they got.
Yeah.
I love this one. Godzilla versus Megalon, like you said. That was
Godzilla
great.
raids on.
What was it Godzilla 1985 where they brought Raymond Burr back playing the same character? Steve Martin, not a wild and crazy guy. Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah.
He was like an advisor. He was an old newspaper man. And they, unfortunately, in the 1950s, they named his character Steve Martin. Like that, nobody's ever going to have a name like that and be famous. But Steve Martin was a reporter, and he narrated the movie because some of the dubbing was really bad. And you didn't realize how bad it was until much later when Nick Adams was the star of any freaking Japanese movie that would come along.
Canadian Spidey, I see what you're saying now. I got you. Yeah, you guys have been wrenching for the old buddy Doomcock over there. I got you covered now. Thank you. I understand what you mean now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Godzilla raids on. I don't remember that one. Mechagodzilla, Megalon.
I love that one.
What about the Smog Monster?
I don't think there's Smog Monster. Well, Mothra versus Godzilla. That's one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's son of Godzilla, Godzuki.
Gigan. I bought all these figures for my son. Back then, the only ones you could get were like they're smaller, like I guess 8-inch, 6-inch, whatever the figures of the monsters.
Were they have any articulation? They were just like statues.
They were not much, but a little. But yeah, they were pretty cool.
Or the arms or something.
Occasionally, I got them bigger ones when I could find them. But he still has them all.
That last Godzilla movie, the big movie where he had like blue spikes on his back, when they did an action figure of that, it was terrible. I mean, I think his head turned. You had to plug his tail in, and you can move it back and forth or sideways to sideways, but it wasn't very good. The King Kong from that series was also pretty bad.
Holy
shit! What was it? Nika?
Oh my God!
Did a King Kong?
NECA, yeah.
NECA.
Look at that. One of the gargantuans.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Is that on? Is that also? That's also on HBO. And for the longest time,
what should we watch? Blue Beetle or War of the Gargantuans?
I think you ought to watch War of the Blue Beetles. I think you ought to tell the Gargantuans that Blue Beetle said something about their mother.
Why did Blue Beetle come up in the search for Godzilla?
I don't know.
I get all kinds of weird suggestions on mine. If I type in young Sheldon, oh, here we go. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson gives a lecture. What the hell is that? That guy's not real.
So yeah, HBO Max has a pretty decent, not everything, but pretty decent.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. They do throw a wide net for their suggestions, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Please watch Blue Beetle. Please watch Blue Beetle.
They're trying to beg me to watch Blue Beetle. No one wants to watch Blue Beetle, guys. Don't put it there with the Godzilla
I will tell you that I watched Blue Beetle. I will tell you that, and it is the truth because the first 15 minutes of the movie and the last 15 minutes of the movie, I was awake watching it. I was. And I saw the Ted Cord bit that I was waiting for. So I didn't have to watch all that crap in between.
Enough of it, though.
If I ever see George Lopez again, I'm gonna get me and some of my boys hold him down, cut that stupid rag off of his chin. He looks ridiculous.
Eric Godzuki was the cartoon. Remember the cartoon
from the comic book?
30 stories. No, the cartoon on.
No, I'm saying, remember the comic book?
Well, yeah, I remember the comic book. I'm talking about the cartoon though.
But there was
Godzuki.
The Marvel comic was. It was so weird to have Godzilla in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Did he fight the Avengers or?
Yeah, and the FF.
Damn.
And the Shogun and
Herb Trimpe.
Yep, Herb Trimpe. There's the cartoon though, and Godzuki. Yep. Oh God.
That's what we call the little pink dragon on the Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Looks like Figment from Disney World.
It looks like Pete's dragon, the early years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Godzilla was a nice guy in this cartoon. Godzilla Atomic Breath is a cut above the rest. It makes the atomic bomb look like a firecracker, says Oliver. Yes, Oliver. Indeed, Oliver. Indeed, sir.
Look at how delicately Godzilla is walking.
Godzilla. He was good.
Oh, I was just saying season 2 is coming to YouTube. Never released.
What, Godzilla?
Godzilla the animated series.
Yeah.
Used to have to get them from what do you call those guys who sold? Used to get them from bootleggers at conventions.
Marvel's doing a 70s Godzilla omnibus, says Matthew. Oh, cool. There you go. We had 20 something issues, maybe. So yeah, it's like whatever. Too bad someone needs to release John Belushi playing Godzilla.
Yeah, I remember that one. That they had everybody waiting to see Godzilla on NBC.
Smog Monster or whatever.
Yeah, they had John Belushi in the Godzilla costume, and he was like making cracks, stuff, drinking beer, whatever. And it was kind of scary. It was so silly that we're watching this movie about Godzilla, and here he is talking to us.
Well, he wasn't such a nice guy in the Marvel comic. He kept fighting the Avengers and all this. They had one where they shrunk him down to the size of a rat. He was in this.
Do you still have radioactive breath like New York rats?
I don't know.
There's an official Godzilla channel.
Where?
On YouTube.
Oh,
just put in the chat. I didn't know there was. So
Junior Zilla.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sub to that.
By Toho.
By Toho, yeah. So look, the Godzilla TV series.
Where'd you put it?
Still up there. Put in the chat, yep. So look, here with trailers. Well, we won't play anything, obviously. We don't get in trouble, but they've got
Godzilla
season 3. Wow, web series. Godzilla season 2.
Okay. Got an interview with that cute chick from it.
Yeah.
Well, that scene, the Jaws scene was amazing in that movie.
Well, there we go. There's animated animated series is on YouTube.
Mars Monkey Max, what's up there? There's an official one on Pluto too. Oh yeah, okay. Pluto,
thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, my grandson is 9 years old. He loves Godzilla, and I sent my daughter a text that I don't think he's gonna like this one because he's like, I went in, I wanted to see Godzilla stomping stuff and blowing things up with his mouth and knocking shit down with him. But they did recreate one scene I wasn't even expecting when Godzilla had those 3 train cars holding them up.
Yep. No spoiling. I know you don't. I know you don't care about spoiling. But
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I meant to say Godzilla was helping them paint a garden or something.
I know you get offended when I say that, but I mean, some people don't like being spoiled.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Is that a spoiler? Godzilla broke some shit?
Well,
Yes, it is. I thought the new Godzilla was very peaceful minded.
You thought he was like Gandalf. He's going to walk through and make everything better.
Good to see you there, Mars. I'm just saying. Some scenes.
Good morning, Gandalf.
Surprises.
Are you saying it's a morning to be good?
Now, I would spoil
Good on this morning.
An older movie like Shin Godzilla, which everyone loved but me.
You told me.
I hated that movie.
One time you said it should be called something else, Godzilla.
Shit
They
Godzilla.
Yep.
Well, we went to the damn theater to see it in
I've never seen it.
A Fathom event.
Oh.
Everybody loves it but me. I guess I just didn't get the memo because I walked out of it. Now, you hadn't seen it, have you, Mark?
I've seen it, yeah.
You like it?
Shit. It was okay, I thought. I didn't like the end. Was that the one with all the Godzilla babies coming out at the end?
Yeah, at the end, yeah. No, this happened to this one too,
see, Mark got me back by spoiling Shin Godzilla, which I have never seen.
Well, that movie's old.
But that's a 23-year-old movie. What is it?
Well,
no, it's 2016.
Yeah, all right. The statute of limitations is up on that
do you remember? Right, this is me and spoilers, okay? Do you remember when Serenity came out? And everybody said, I'm going to be there on day one. And everybody that was online was going, hey, I just saw it. It was great. No spoilers. Okay, whatever, dude. It was great. Like 2 weeks later, man, I just saw it. You just saw it? Are you're a fan? Because I am. I got no money. And I saw it like 6 times because I was trying to support it. I wanted them to make another one. I'm sure that my 6 times
I went 10 times, I think.
was gonna bolster that franchise.
Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Hello, welcome. I went 10 times.
Going off, Claude.
What?
That movie made no money, unfortunately.
Oh, right? I know. There was a fan who offered to give Joss Whedon $40 million to make a sequel, and he said no. Well, I think Serenity cost $80 million or $40 million, somewhere up like that. But when I was speaking code to these people, I didn't want to come right out and say who died or anything like that. Now you got people saying, you can't say that now. I haven't seen it. Well, I'm sorry. The movie came out 20-something years ago.
20-something years ago. 18 years ago.
I said, and tell me if this sounds like a spoiler. I said, is anybody else upset that Whedon took out the wash?
Yes, it does sound like a spoiler. If you know,
and they banned me. They banned me. They kicked me out of that chat room. I was gone forever. Yep.
Inconceivable.
They said, I thought this was a no spoiler room. First of all, it's not a room. You're sitting at your house, there's a keyboard. And now
keyboard warrior.
Now you're on your phone. So if 2 weeks have gone by and you haven't seen Serenity, I'm sorry to sound like one of these hacks on there. Not a real fan.
Yeah, but
didn't we go the first day?
Oh, of course we did. Yes, we did. I remember when we went, and I remember that day.
And there was hardly anybody in there.
We went in the morning. It was
and
like a morning show.
We vowed our hate and vengeance on a movie that came out on the same day called Roll Bounce.
Roll Bounce.
Because it had
Roll Bounce.
It was a movie about skating rappers. I don't know. It was like Electric Boogaloo, but it was called Roll Bounce. And these guys were running around on skates, rapping, and it was made for teenage audience.
Roll Bounce.
But it made more money at first weekend.
Journey Smollett was in it, and Nick Cannon.
Who?
Superstars all.
Jussie Smollett's sister.
Juicy was in it? Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Juicie's sister is a role model.
Bow Wow. Yeah, never heard of the movie. You just mentioned it. Oh, so did it knock out Serenity that week?
No. Well, yeah, it did. It made more money, but a whole lot of us have been waiting for a long time for Serenity. And then because of my fault, we ended up in the wrong room at DragonCon because we had heard that Adam Baldwin had his laptop with him, and he was going to show the world premiere of the Serenity trailer. So we're over in one room. I'm drinking beer, eating chicken wings, and I think Mike was talking to some hot chick. And meanwhile, like 4 or 5 doors down, So I get up and walk out. There's Adam Baldwin. He's walking out with his laptop. How you doing? Oh.
You said you got to meet Adam Baldwin. That's awesome.
I met him more
We'd
than
already
once.
met him a couple times before.
I shaved my
He's
head
great.
one time, and I wanted him to rub my head, but he refused to.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin. Chuck was amazing. I loved him in Chuck playing that agent who loved the 80s with the.
He's a good dude.
Ford LTD.
They told a story about him one time where I don't know if it was Nathan Fillion or I think Alan Tudyk said this. He said, "I know you people at Dragon Con are used to seeing people from Firefly." He said, "I know Jewel's been here. This person, I think Adam pitches a tent outside." But Adam Baldwin was a frequent guest, and he talked to everybody. Jewel State, sweetheart.
She was.
Everybody else was charging $20 for their autograph, but if you walked over there with a picture that you had bought somewhere else, she didn't charge.
She didn't charge me for signing about stuff. In fact, I tried to tell. I was going to come over to the table later. I showed her, I got this. I'm going to come get this signed for you later when you go back. She said, "Oh, just give me that." And she signed it for me. I mean, it's a sweetheart.
And remember the little autograph guards? Let's just say guards. They were all in a panic because they were going, "I don't care if I don't get $20 for this. So I probably make more in a second than this guy does in a year. Leave me alone."
What were they doing? Blocking people from getting
something
autographs?
Like that. They would check you to make sure you had money. There was
you
one
paid
guy.
for it.
Yeah, it was $20 for an autograph, and I had like the last one I got was Sean Marr. This was after Katrina, and I told him I wanted to get this because I got everybody on this thing except Gina Torres and Sean Marr. So I got him, and said, "This is for my son." He goes, "Oh, where's he?" Said he got relocated after Katrina. He looked up, and I could tell he was serious. He was concerned. He said, "Oh my God, is he all right?" And I said, "Yeah, he got relocated. He was in Gulfport when the thing hit." And I was able to call him, and I said, "You need to get out of there." And he was just a teenager. He said, "How am I supposed to do that?" I said, "Get your stepdad, get in the car, drive north. Don't be there." And they went to, what were they going to? Montgomery, Alabama. That's where they got relocated to. But it was a couple years later, and I saw Sean Marr, and he goes to write the name. I said, "This is for Sean." And he starts to write it. SEAN. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. How do you spell that?" And I said, "We spell it the correct way." He put on that SEAN.
And did he not charge you or?
No, he did. He had an autograph card there, but it was the same guy who a few years earlier had kept me away from Nichelle Nichols.
Oh.
Because I just said, "I just want to say hi." He goes, "Come back when you get $30.
Come back when you got $30.
Yeah, he said that. He's standing right next to her. She had fans in line, and when it came my turn to go up to her, I had my little Star Trek II biographies book that everybody in there had autographed, except for her and Leonard Nimoy. The only autographs I didn't have. I even had Marina Sirtis in there, and Yeoman Rand. I had them in there, and I'm just going, God, I got to get this because it's getting close to the wire. These people are old. So when I showed him, "This is what I got." He goes, "Oh, cool." He said, $30. I went, "What?" I said, "I just want to say hi to her." I said, "She didn't even have to autograph. I just want to say hi." The guy goes, "Come back when you get $30.
God. Yeah.
I go over because I was working there at the time. I go back over to my friend I'm working with. I said, "F this place," but I kind of said it out loud. And the Squid Face guy from Babylon 5 was sitting right next to us. He looked at me and he goes, "Jesus, you're pissed."
All right, well, everybody, want to start wrapping it up in a second here because we've been on quite a while.
Yeah, 1,400 shows.
For some reason.
That's a long time.
Yeah, congratulations on the 700 Club.
Have you been able to take a bath in between?
So, yes, 700. Number 700 on YouTube. Number 1,400 overall.
Yeah, I get what Mark D was talking about. Pat Robertson's going to sue you if he's still alive.
Pat Robertson called and said, "Hey, are you really the 700 Club? Praise the God, Lord. I think you should run for president." I always like when he said, God.
Was that him?
Yeah.
That was Jimmy Swaggart.
No, it was him. It was him.
I remember the time you talked to Jimmy Swaggart.
No, I didn't talk to him. I got married in a stupid church.
You sent a message.
Oh, that. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where were we? All right. Well, everyone, I want to start saying some goodbyes to you all. I'm glad to have you here with us tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me and celebrating the wooden swagger, though. It was I'm pretty sure it was Swaggart did not sound like Robertson.
Okay.
Pat Robertson ran for president. Remember that? Yeah. And then idiot Al Franken played him in the on Saturday Night. Yeah.
Oh, and Norm Macdonald in one of his actual sketch appearances played Bob Dole.
Hey, playing Bob Dole, but not as well as Dan Aykroyd did.
Yeah. Bob Dole said none of those things you do are funny, and Norm Macdonald said to him, "Well, I don't write them all."
Swagger's still actually going. They still got his church. I know people that go to that.
Yeah.
Church.
I saw him at Five Guys a few months ago.
You did?
Shocked. Yeah.
Was he? They look old. I haven't seen him since his.
Looked really old. I mean, he didn't have his jacket on. He wasn't preaching at anybody. He just walked in. He ordered his hamburger. He looked right at me. I looked right at him. I ate my food. He ate his food. We left each other alone. No Bible passages were swapped.
So he can go out in public now. Nobody knows who he is. That's good.
He didn't look like himself. He looked really, what's the word I'm looking for? Old.
Well, he is old.
I mean, he looked like he had been dragged around behind a car that had magazines full of naked women in it. You know what I mean?
He probably did. Okay. All righty then. Let's see. Mark, anything to announce?
Well, I'm probably going to do a watch party for Blake 7 tomorrow night. So look for the Twitters for announcements. Usually I try to do that at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And probably try to do some watch parties too if I can from Christmas stuff coming up.
You need to do Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
I was about to say that. Find a virgin copy of it though.
You can't. You're just gonna have to get live with this butchered one.
You can imitate him though. In a scene,
I know the lines that they cut out.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, Mark. Well,
and then Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on Retro Nerd Girls channel talking about Christmas music because I annoy my family with it for far too long. So I'm a big Christmas music fan, and so she invited me on. I mentioned that to her. So
did you know that I actually write Christmas songs? By the way,
yes, we all know.
No, I wasn't talking.
Okay,
Mark.
I didn't know that. No.
Oh well,
no.
They can now I'm talking to you, so tell him I do. Tell him that I write Christmas music.
He writes Christmas songs. He could even personalize one for you if you get on his bad side.
I don't really write them, but I make them up. Anyway, go ahead, Mark.
They're off
Did you create the Batman Smells line, or
no?
That wasn't you.
He wishes.
Minor meter.
And of course, Sunday Night Geek Rule will be back. 10 p.m. Eastern. Cloberin Times will be there, and friends hanging out, talking some cool stuff that happened during the week, and maybe some Doctor Who again. I don't know. Maybe I think we're done with Who now, right? We'll see what else comes out this week. Yeah.
What's for supper then?
Clam pizza.
Sunday Night Eatery is for supper.
Yeah, the eatery. Yep.
God damn it, Mark.
Thank you for that, Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was an amazing coincidence.
Yeah.
If you want Doomsday, if you want to get a Doomsday machine, I'll put the link in for that. If you want a Doomsday machine Christmas ornament, perfect for the holiday season.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Hey, they plagiarized your game.
What about you?
What about me?
Why don't you go?
You are expendable.
And you're not?
No, I'm not. I am not expendable. I'm not stupid. And I'm not going.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So, anything else, Marker?
No, that's good. That's good. Yep, and that's the best line ever.
That's all right then. Tomorrow night. Shit on me. Clubhouse in session. Our wonderful first officer, number 1, Raquel, and then the chief of engineering, Mark with the C. We'll have our Blake 7 episode. It is the episode we're reviewing is Duel, episode 8, right? And then we'll review the final issue of Star Trek: The Early Voyages. And let's see. Before that, of course, I guess I'll be on Tom's show with the Midnight Edge boys, and then you'll be doing your watch party, of course, with the Blake 7 episode. Yep. And then Friday night, we're getting close to the end of our Fourth World coverage on the Great J-Man's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. Reviewing with Sean and I will review 3 more issues of Jack Kirby's classic Fourth World Saga. Getting close to the end, as I said. And then later on the Friday night Comic Shop Talk, the Comic Shop Talk boys and Nick Weiser and I will we'll review some Christmas comics.
Oh, great.
And then the big event, Saturday Night Star Trek. 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Voyager. Year
of Hell, Part 1.
Voyager. Yep, the year of go to freaking hell, you dumbass. It should be said, go to hell, dumbasses. Number 1. You need to maybe some clip him doing that to dumbasses. You know what I'm talking about, Mark?
I haven't seen that in 25 years.
Put his foot up his ass.
Yeah. He tells the Borg, I'll put my foot up your ass, you dumbasses. So, yes, 4 more episodes of that with Kurt. I can't look at it.
Questions early.
Yeah, I keep thinking, I think of him as the bad guy for RoboCop and him just saying dumbass a lot. So, anyway, there you go.
On the Raven, we got Raquel's going to like that one.
Oh, Jesus.
That's her favorite author.
And so, anyway, what else? Blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, we're back, like you said, on the Geekery Sunday night. Then Monday night, I'll be with J-Man again with our Legion of Superhero reviews. Continuing those, our ongoing mission to review all of. We've got plenty more to go on that one, though. We're going to be here for quite some time reviewing those, and we're loving it. So, thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. Let's see.
As an audience member, you're welcome.
Let me shout out our wrenches, and then I'll shout out you guys in the audience, because this is number 700, so I have to shut you all out. I have to shut all 700 of you out. All 1,400 of you out. Eric K. the Bronze Richard, thank you so much, buddy, for being here, man, and all you do. By the way, I want to thank all the lurkers out there, those who are lurking or watching on a download or a rewatch later. Thank you kindly. Chris Persia, Vindicator, Wrench of the Great White North. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. And shout out to Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the legions. J-Men, the Wrench without fear, and fellow partner in crime on earth, being reviewer, legionnaire extraordinaire. Maddie's daddy, Vita Wrench Mjolnir. Kal-El, the Super Wrench. The rascally wrench himself, anti-outsidery. Hungry boy, master of the Clobonian, maximum redstone. Our own music master. Now, who was here up in here with us tonight? Eric K. Thanks again, buddy. Says, hey, that was me. It was you. Thank you for the super chat, Eric K. You're too kind, brother. All right. Let me do the shouts and the outs. Mars Monkey Max, thank you for being here with us tonight. Jill, thanks for being here, Jill. Thank you so much. Love you. Have a wonderful, I hope we'll see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Empress NM, Matthew Pounder, Ezra Goldstein, Shalom. Miss Oliver Belamonte, Don Ranger Powers, DJ Ronnie G, Canadian Spidey. All right, buddy. Oops, jumped on me. Damn it. Justin. All right, Justin. Real Wade Nation, Gaming Clips. Thank you for being here. Takes me a while to catch everybody when I'm scrolling. Everyone takes a bit. Larry. All right, brother. Thank you. Vamping music. Get to everybody. Come on, I know plenty more people. Brian Hepburn, Adrian James.
Want me to go get my banjo?
Get whatever you want.
Yes, Steve Martin.
Yes, Steve Martin. Steve Martin with the banjo. Tobor the robot is the greatest robot of all time. NDT Comics. RRTNZ. Hey, Congo Kids Club. Congo Kids Club. I think that you're new here, aren't you? Well, good to see you. West Kegel, your Muslim uncle. Starships of Greatness. Some weirdo named Claude Perishable.
I think he dropped out a little while ago.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Blunt Philly Reviews. Who's revealing Philly Blunts? Just Joe Jobber. What's up, bro? Thank you for being here. Ravenscroft. Parker Luck can't lose. Come on, man. Everybody's typing so much. Brogu from my old hometown. All right, everybody. Almost got you. What do you think, Mark? Think I got everybody?
I think you pretty much got everyone, but I wasn't here the whole time, so.
Okay.
And if you have an extra $34.95, you just want to throw out the window, WandaVision is finally on a metal box DVD or Blu-ray.
Oh, wow.
We don't make announcements while I'm doing shout-outs.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just shouting out the people who made The Mandalorian and WandaVision, and they're here listening. They're lurking, I'm pretty sure.
Penny was here. So there. Keely Chow, Roll Tide.
Didn't know there were etiquette rules.
Well, yeah, there are.
Sure.
Well,
I can't cuss while you're doing that either, can I?
Mazerus. No, I'm just like trying to get us out of here. You pull both of these. But I mean, it's not a big deal, but
I'm just saying it's not the Johnny Carson show.
Well, who says it isn't? Ace Cast Iron, brother.
Johnny Carson's a widow.
Now, Mark, time to play the game. Dave C.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. What is your prediction?
I'm gonna predict no, because there's always someone that gets missed.
Okay. No vote. Oh, Jason Sandberg. Told you were right. I told you your no was right. I agreed with your no completely from the beginning. But now I'm going to say definitely no more people. I've got them all. Not even a question about it, except for DJ Play Nice, but that just goes without saying. And now that is everybody. So there. So we got everybody shouted out. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging around and being with us tonight. I would hang with you even longer, but we've been here almost 3 hours. We're getting close to it. So
the bowels are calling.
People got things to do. So I don't really have a theme yet anyway, so I'll just leave you with this.
I just love clobbering time.